Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Just getting my screens right. Of course, it goes like everything's going fine, getting set up, and then the last 5 minutes, like stuff starts to fall apart. It's like, oh, just scrambling. So it's, yeah. But I'm just careful about everything. Let's just keep this one episode. It should be, since it's not a balcony chat, but I'm just so paranoid about it. It's just so inconvenient and it's so predictable. Folks shouldn't have to jump around like that. But what is up to Patrick? Glad you made it. Says, good day, everyone. Hope you're all well. Looking forward to another great night, Nikki. Hope you're good too. Yeah, it's like roughly about the same weather-wise. Maybe like the humidity might be up just a tad, or the temperature might be up just a little bit higher. I just didn't check. It just feels that way, but it's enough so I can still have my hair down and wear the hat. So that's the important thing. So it's that's what I need to do. Clear the cookies. I forgot. Because before, what it was, I really like, I must have tapped one of the, because there's like the touchpad, that's the mouse, and below that there's two buttons. And when I set the mirror down that last time, I must have hit the right button because I noticed it glitch, and then like what, about a minute later it froze. So as long as I'm super careful about that, and I'm not going to move the camera. That's why there's just a little bit more floor back there, but that's nothing new. Just, yeah. It is Mercury retrograde until August the 10th, so as of the 11th, we won't have to worry about it for at least me a full 2 months until New Year's Day. And that it doesn't happen again until next year, so that's a next year problem. Sometime in November. I just, it's just so frustrating to have to click around like that for folks. It's enough to find a video you want to watch than for it to just fall apart. It's nobody's fault or it's everything's fault. It's either it's uh so before it happened, okay, the sun was in Cancer. I have no luck when the sun's in a water sign. Okay, so that's on me. But then it's been Mercury retrograde since about since in Cancer, and it's still going on now. So that's not helping either. Maybe it's Streamlabs. Since my camera does act up, I'm not giving it shit, but sometimes it just doesn't want to be a camera. Or just that the universe does not want me to do Friday shows because Frank should be sitting in his chair doing his own show rather than hitting the bottle. So maybe it's everything. Maybe it's just bad luck, bad time. Just oops. Maybe it's because I'm new at this. So it happened. Just technical difficulties can happen to anybody. But yeah, clearing out the cookies is good. I've noticed since Twitter has been renamed, there's issues with it. So like it'll close down if somebody sends say like an audio DM, it'll play half of it, then the app crashes or it just keeps crashing. So you just have to go in and clear the cache usually helps. But with any app on your phone, sometimes you have to go so far as to delete the app, download it again, set up your account. That's sort of like the when you slap the TV to make the picture come in back in the day. It's the same thing. Oh, what's up, Arden? Glad you made it. I'm glad you showed up because I grabbed my notes to see where you're at. I did, Wally said 386. Is that right? 3-8. Yeah, that totally that takes me back. What's up, Wally World? Glad you made it. I like that part. I swear they're back there for like 100 episodes, and then okay, I know this. I know this, like 466. Maybe before that. I swear they're back there for like 100 episodes. Then I'm like, wait, has it been like 100 episodes? And then it had been. I'm like, that's cool. I wonder if it's going to be 100 episodes every time um they're not in the present day. No spoilers. And what's up, John McHugh? Glad you made it. Yeah, smash that like button right meow. And thank you guys for 250 subscribers. That's incredible. It's actually it was 251, but before the show I saw it, so it's more than that. That's cool. Well, like the 100 milestone is good too, but I when I started off uploading at 1789, yeah, they're way or 1790, 1795, 96, and then as far as like the dates go, it's like one character's testifying and they give a date, and I'm like, I know it was not that date because they said something else when Victoria first. So yeah, that's roughly 1795, 1796. I went to go to. Glad you made it. What's up? Not much is up. I'm glad the weather is not up. I like it to be cooler. I don't need to do all that sweating. It's terrible when it's like cool outside or just like nice, but then you get in the car and you feel like you're baking, so you've got to roll the windows down, and then suddenly it's too cold as you're driving. Like, what the hell? I can't win. Do I drive slower? Do I roll up the windows? Arn says, Vicky is getting punished. They think she's a witch when it's Angelique. Yeah, she gets it so bad. It at one point I noticed that everybody was having a bad time except Angelique. Literally every other, like there might be a couple of characters we just don't see a lot, but on the whole, 95% of the characters are having a bad day consistently. Oh, what's that? Get off my glasses. Stop it. Stop it. And the only person who's just, not suffering, it's because of one character, because she's the one causing all the drama for everybody. But it can't be her. She's so innocent and she's so boring, and like not my opinion. That's other character's opinion of this other troublemaking character. Oh, she's just so common and low born, and her mother was just a little bit suspect, so kind of felt sorry for her, but she's so nice and she's so polite. She's one of these actresses who, maybe it's a Scorpio thing, but they always come off like they're always putting on an act. It's not that they're bad actors, but it's like they're always in a certain character and then they're taking on a role. Oh, what's up, John Rogers? Glad you made it. Shucks, I cannot think of the girl's name, but she was in American Horror Story for a lot of seasons. Okay, in American Horror Story Cult, there's like this couple that's living across the way, and the guy's gay, and the woman is straight, but their backstory is that I guess they've always been friends, and they decided once they hit 35 or 40 and they were both single, they would get married. So that's what happened. So like they're married, air quotes, drink, but it's probably just for the tax break. Cannot think of that woman's name, but like she's in 1984. She's on a few other seasons. She usually has blonde hair, prominent lips, but she's a Scorpio. She always comes off like she's just like extra in character, and she kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like she's not always, but sometimes she just rubs me the wrong way a bit. Whereas the lady who plays Angelique, it's like she is always in character. And she's one of these ones, like, I hate her so much, but that's because she's so good at what she's doing. And then there's like one time where it feels like she does break character in the entire series. It's like she almost like looks at the camera and breaks the fourth wall. It's so it's so funny to see it. It's a scene with Jonathan Frid. It's great. Or yeah, everyone hates Vicky in the 1700s, and in the 1960s, everyone loves Vicky. Yeah, it's that would have sucked for her because it's so hard, like actually getting into Collinwood, and everybody, everybody in the whole town is suspicious of anybody new anyway. It's a little town, and then everybody's cool with her, and then all of a sudden, it's almost like starting from scratch, and just because she's different and like dresses differently and just a little bit too suspicious, they're like, oh, I don't know about her. And then it just sort of getting blamed for things that are not things she did not do, and that's just totally innocent, just wrong place, right, just circumstances, like, oh well, she's by the fire, she must have set the fire, kind of a thing. Patrick says, Wally, we managed to beat Arsenal the other day. Happy enough, but son leaving, bit gutted about that. Oh, and yeah, Vicky is a lib white woman. 1700 people have a point. Yeah, it's that they wanted to be women to be more like Naomi Collins. If you haven't seen Dark Shadows, you're not going to get that, but just very like woman stays in her place, and you do what the husband says, and you don't break out of that. You don't think for yourself, or even speculate about the future at all. Oh, if you're talking about the future, that must be fortune telling. That's one of the devil's tricks. You must be in league with the devil, and you're a witch. And so it snowballs. That escalated quickly meme, that all of the time. But very nice clothing. Very nice clothing. Wally World said, nice beating the Gunners. Where is Son going? Son, like capital S, as if it's somebody's last name. It would be odd if they had the same son. I don't know how two fellas can biologically have the same son, but maybe you can online. Uh, Patrick says, Wally, I think he may be going to the States. Do they do that? Can you be playing for like UK football and then become a US player? Are you allowed to do that? I really don't know. I mean, like, say you can like stop playing. Didn't Michael Jordan stop playing basketball and play baseball for a hot minute? I mean, I know he can do that, but he was American. This would be, say, if you're a UK citizen and you want to play US soccer, are you allowed to? I don't know. Is there an exception? I did look it up. LaGuardia is closer to the event. If you were to drive that distance, it would be, say, a half an hour versus longer. If you don't know geography, basically, LaGuardia and JFK seem to be on the same island. Maybe it's Long Island. I didn't look that far. But say LaGuardia is on the top and JFK is on the bottom, so that's why it would be closer. And then actually, where Westchester is, I didn't realize it's that away of Manhattan. I thought it was on the other side, but I've never been there, so I wouldn't physically know. Like, it's okay. I know that now. Oh, Mr. Mission Control, glad you made it. My neighbor bought me a fifth fireball instead of a half pint yesterday. I got smashed, still a little woozy. Yeah, dude, you're feeling it. Arden says, not in Olympics or national teams for World Cup, but for club teams, you can go anywhere. Oh, okay, cool. Like, what if that's your dream? You're growing up in England, or you're growing up here and you want to play for the other team. Yeah, so, oh, okay, that can still happen. Patrick, yes, as a transfer Nikki, he'll be great for U.S. football fans to watch. Oh, okay, cool. Is he hot? I don't know. It's the one thing about soccer, well, not, well, I guess any place it's soccer, UK football, whatever you want to call it, every so often. So these are just videos that I see on Tumblr. They're just being like silly. I don't know if they're bored, or if they're just goofy guys, but they're just, I don't know, like one dude's just off doing cartwheels or something like that, or they're just playing patty cake or something, and like, not a euphemism for patty cake, but literally doing the like stuff, just silly like ness like that. Maybe, I mean, it does seem to, it's boring to watch, so they must get bored, like, oh, no, we're not up yet. Take your time, Phil. And just, yeah. Arden says also there's an airport in Westchester. The Westchester airport wants you to have real ID, and I'm not, I don't even know what that is. I'm sure whatever it is, it's one, going to cost money, and two, I don't know how long it takes to get it back. If it takes more than 2 months, what's the point? It'll be New Year's Day by then. That's just, and I tried looking up the college residences thing. I didn't know that was a thing, but like results come up. I'm like, oh, Azora, what's up? Glad you made it. Like houses you can live in that are not on campus, but they must be close to a campus. That makes sense to me. But they have them listed, and there's prices, and I'm sure those prices are maybe for like a year, 6 months. Like, I don't have like $4,000 to spend for like 4 days. Um, but it doesn't say what those prices, how long they cover. Of course, it's going to be more than 4 days. I didn't see an option to pick one for less time, and then I just get frustrated and that. Oh, Mr. Mission Control, you need your birth certificate for real ID. That's the same thing as that. That's the same thing as a passport. That's the same thing as a passport. I mean, I have it. That's not a problem. But if when you go to get a passport, at least in 2016, I mean, of course, you fill out the form. You got to pay. It was like 100 some bucks. It was not crazy expensive, but they need your real birth certificate, not a copy. They will not take a photocopy, so they need that original old ass piece of paper. What's up, Three Dots? Glad you're here. I gotta talk to you. And a picture of your driver's license front and back, and then you mail it all off. And then I got my actual passport in a week, but then it took 2 weeks or more to get my birth certificate back. It's like, oh, I need that. So I mean, that's fine. I Arden said you should need real ID if you can bring your I mean, my passport is still valid. It's still valid until next year. That's why I have not updated my last name legally, because there's no point in updating it this year just to have to. I mean, it's not like I would have to get a passport in the meantime. I'm not flying out of the country between like now and March, but I would still have to, like get a new passport anyway with the updated name. So there's all that kind of a thing. I'll have to look into that, see if they will just take a passport. Like, will you take a U.S. passport from a U.S. citizen in America? Shouldn't have to go through this. Clearly, I'm American. You can hear me talk. Three Dots, were you serious about, are you heading this way to the meetup? Are you seriously, like, would you drive through Sandusky to come pick me up? Because it sounds feasible. We got it, because I said last time I was gonna ask you guys, you and Shane, about this on Monday in the chat room. But that would be a cool road trip. That would be safe. Patrick, yeah, driver's license should be enough to get you through. I understand if I'm in Europe, a lot of places, like when you go to rent your car, you have to show your passport. If you were in America, you don't have to do that. It does seem ridiculous, but I do understand being in a foreign country. If you're a U.S. citizen in the United States, all you should need for anything is your government issued driver's license or state ID. To need anything more than that is retarded. Like, you don't trust information from the country to move about in the country. That means there's something wrong with the country. Mr. Mission Control said we won't need physical identification soon. They do the face scans. Before I could, I call it the pre-flight selfie, because when I was going back to the United States, you scan your, I don't know, passport. It might ask you some questions like how many bags you have or like something like that. But then there's, there's always that camera right above there. And so they make you look at it and take, like, if you like do that or mess it up, you have to keep retaking it. Then I'm sure it's an issue, but I didn't feel like being that much of a smart ass. But they make you do that. Like, you can't look at the picture on the passport. I low key sort of understand that, but not really, because the old guy, then you have to go through this old guy who asks you stupid questions like, what's your address? And he's looking at it. So I thought he couldn't read. Like, you really should not have an illiterate man reading for a job, and he was white too, so there was no excuse. I was in Ireland. What you don't want to do is now watch the second Back to the Future, how they're using their thumbprint for everything. After spoilers for the second Back to the Future, there's no reason why you have not seen this movie. At one point, Doc Brown is looking at a newspaper, and you can see one of the articles is talking about some people are going around chopping off folks' thumbs. That's what it's going to be. People would if we do the thumb thing, they'd be chopping off thumbs to get people's access to people. So like people are getting those chips. It's like a credit card in their hand. They're going to get their hands cut off like they're stealing diamonds in Africa. Get wrecked. Arden said, if you use a passport, book your flight with the exact same name that's on the passport. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not trying to. They don't know me at the airport. I don't have to use my handle. Three Dot said I was, but I have to work now, end of August through September, which means I'll be on the West Coast. Oh, damn, that sucks. Three Dots plus Frank hates me. Well, you show up anyway if they don't like you. Like, I bought a ticket. You got to put up with me until 11 p.m. Sitting right here. It's not about Frank. It's about it's about seeing the other Franklies. You're not gonna nobody's gonna like corner Frank in a corner and talk to him for 5 hours straight. And while he's like trying to like look around, but like help, help, and nobody else can talk to him. Packer said we don't need any ID to travel around the UK. That makes sense. I mean, like you shouldn't have to show ID to you say that we don't have to show ID to cross a border into another state or anything like that. Oh, Ricky Lane, glad you made it. John Rogers, you've never had a passport? That's okay. Arden says, cool, I went to Ireland with our daughter. We had fun even with the rainy weather. It was just landing in the airport waiting to get my other flight back to the US, but I would like to go around there. It's so funny to see. You see the Netherlands and everything's evenly spaced out as far as the land goes, and then you fly over Ireland and they did not give a fuck about nothing matching up with nothing at all. It is so hodgepodge. And there's literally, say you're the gate, like you could throw a stone and hit the bar. And I'm glad I didn't get anything to drink. So if I would have had a couple Irish car bombs, I would have gotten arrested on that plane. Children should not be allowed to fly. If you cannot sit in the seat for the entire ride and shut up, then your parent or guardian needs to pay for the tickets for every single person on that flight. Aer Lingus runs their airplanes like a McDonald's play place. And I know they don't have those anymore because children are too fat. And then they make it too cold, so one person had a nosebleed. So every single stewardess, flight attendant had to assist this one person, so nobody else got any assistance. Patrick said his dad was Irish. That is cool. I would like to go back though. Oh wait, what side of the road did they drive on in Ireland? Maybe I can't go. The airport was nice though. Hella chill. The rest of it was nice, like walking around and all that stuff. And then they get on the intercom and they low key have a little bit of an Irish accent. Don't fly Aer Lingus, fly Norwegian. Norwegian is so good. So I'll have to look more into that college residence thing. Or LaGuardia. I don't know. It's mostly it's gonna boil down to just actually like the physically getting like the driving part. That's where the problems come in. I mean, if I have to, I can basically just coast on little to no food until that one day. If I have to. Arden is saying that her family is mostly Scottish and some English and a bit of Irish. And they live in Pennsylvania here in the U.S. Oh, Patrick, yeah, same as Britain. I was afraid of that. I'm like, wait, okay, if Northern Ireland is part of England, then there's no reason to think why they wouldn't drive on the same side of the road as them. even though they let me use euros there. Hmm. I don't know, man. I don't know. It worked out. It worked out. So this was weird. Yesterday when I was live, I got those notifications that Swaley and Puff went live. So I put everything away. I wasn't in any rush to get anywhere after that. When I have to do like multiple shows in one night, I'm not in the best of moods. So I just slowly got everything put away. Kind of took my time with it. Like, let me put on the YouTube, see what they're up to. So I go over to Puff's videos because sometimes he plays better music, and he knows songs like jazz and Frank Sinatra songs. So sometimes he'll just sing, and it's like, oh, I know that song. So that's a little bit more entertaining while it's live. Plus, Puff is not as big of a he doesn't have the sub count that Swaley does. He's up there. They still have he's like at 310 subs, so he is up there. 310,000. Wait, no, 3,000. Yeah, 310,000. Yeah, I was right the first time. But the chat room is a little bit smaller. I don't know those people there or anything like that. But it just ends up being a little bit more fun, a little bit more silly, and I can always watch the Swaley one later. So imagine my surprise when I show up about 45 minutes into the stream, and Swaley's like, "Whoa, Puff, did you see that?" And he's like, "No, what?" And Swaley goes, "Nikki donated from your Discord." I'm like, did I? I'm not in any of their because I was thinking about joining Puff's Discord a couple of days ago, and I've never super chatted to anybody. So to hear Nikki donated, it's like, what? So it kind of freaked me out. And I've never, my name does not get said out in the world. It's very rare to come across somebody with my name unless they're already using it like Nikki M as a handle. I mean, like real people I've met in life or dealt with online. You don't come across a whole lot of Nikki's, at least I don't. So to just hear him say my name, just almost as soon as I got there, like I'm not even in your chat room. I'm in Puff's. How's he saying my name? So I'm sure it was a different Nikki. It's somebody else that they know. It might even be a guy. You just, Nikki. But that kind of freaked me out. Like, oh my God, I sort of wish I could, but I'm not trying to, pay Google 30% when even now that they updated the app yesterday. So when you go to a live show, it's harder to find the chat room. There's like a drop down menu to the arrow pointing down. You have to tap that to get to the chat room. That sucks. Just makes it more of a hassle. And then they do this now. If you're watching a live show, up on the left side of the screen, they'll play an ad as the same time as the video. I don't put up with that. I exit and go back in. They did that to the Puff video last night. But it's so weird to hear my name. And all of the time I've been watching Grace Still Plays, and he's used different first names for things, places. I've never once heard him say Nikki. The only time he ever said my name was once in a dream, so that kind of doesn't count. So it's not a name that you just hear. So it's weird to just show up randomly and hear my first name. So I'm like, oh my God, maybe I need to join the Discord. So I gotta look into that. So that was kind of welcoming, but also kind of freaky. Patrick, I think Ireland are regretting joining the EU now. They have too many people moving to Ireland. Yeah. People or invaders. Oh, Patrick's saying the Brits have loads of foreign people mixed into their heritage. That's true. And I don't know about you guys, this happened yesterday, but anytime it gets not super cold, but when the temperature drops down to something normal, all I want to do is have tomato soup with grilled cheese. Like that would be perfect, and I do have it around. Like I don't know, something about it getting cold, or not like getting a cold with the weather going down like that. Oh, I already did that. Hmm. Yeah, and then I already mentioned no more days off on QFTV. That's it's kind of I don't know how often they update that site, and it's not like it's canon or anything, but I think it's weird that it's not listed up there. Maybe he'll get around to it. I don't know how often that website gets updated. I don't really like going there. Did you catch this? I caught this last week. I forgot to say it yesterday. Which show was it? Maybe it was the Thursday show, but somebody or Frank or maybe the guest brought up exorcisms, and Frank's like, I think I need an exorcism. And I was just saying that not too long ago. He does need an exorcism. He needs to exorcise the AI out of him. That's pure evil. That's Satan. It's okay to ask for help. And somebody else I follow, they put a poll up asking how folks prefer to watch movies. Like if you prefer to watch it in a theater, or like you'd rather watch movies at home, or like you have zero interest in the theater, you want to consume all of your movies on your TV or your computer. It was just trying to gauge where people were at. And then some smart asses it was like four options, of course. So then some smart asses, oh, fifth option, and it's like a wall of text. And with the if you have to hit the read more, it's too much. Why the world is Frank no longer wearing a baseball cap? That's Jeffrey. Frank had to sell his hats for booze. So that's how bad it is. He can't even cover his head anymore because he's hitting the bottle too much. Or maybe he's just going out at night so he doesn't need a hat so the sun doesn't get in his eyes. So it's okay. It's okay. I'm not up when the sun's up anyway. It's it makes me sad. It really does because it's just so much. And like where's Frank? I miss him. I don't want him to be strung out on alcohol. It's kind of like with Larry on the Xanax, and he was just nodded out in the corner for 45 minutes of an hour long show, and then he'd wake up like, oh, when did you guys get here? Hey, we don't need that. I've lost too many friends to drugs. Patrick London is about 60% disgusting now. He didn't say that, I did. Mr. Mission Control, gotta go eat. Yeah, don't use AI at all. That's evil. That's satanic. Like I'm not gonna watch that Grace Still Plays video where he used I asked AI to design a plane. Like I no, it doesn't look like a Grand Theft Auto video either. And sometimes he plays some mobile games or games that are not. It's like a mobile game is when it's like just like that. I'm not gonna have a 43-inch TV just to watch a strip in the middle. But it's maybe it's a mobile game, but it's full screen. It's nothing I would play. It's not like Grand Theft Auto or Minecraft or anything like that. Erica, what makes you think he's hitting the bottle? Because he was jaundiced. Everybody else noticed he was yellow. I kind of didn't say anything, but they said something, so I noticed. And they said it so much, Frank got mad that's why everything's just a little bit darker this week because he had somebody come in the last Friday. That's why that last Friday show was short because he had to have the color tweaked so he wouldn't look yellow on the show so people would stop bringing it up. But he's still not wearing a hat. They're at the pawn shop or something. What's up, Dale? Glad you made it. And I'm glad you made it too, Erica. So I mean, officially, I know Frank is not a drinker, but if you're hitting the wrong buttons and cutting out early on shows and not wearing your hat and you're yellow and using AI. Anyways, back to that poll. I'm like, yeah, I would go. I love going to the theater. I don't care if it costs, twice as much now to have the same $20 experience, but I'm not going to go watch a remake or anything with a number in the title. Be original or be fucked. Like I said, the only like remake other thing that I would consider seeing, like there's no way I would not go see this. And I've told you about that Mummy remake that they're going to have Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz in. Of course, I'm going to go see that. I've got the movie sitting here, right now. So don't know who they're going to get to score it. Who could they possibly get to score it? We've got Hans Zimmer. We've got Danny Elfman. Uh, is Alan Silvestri still with us? He did The Mummy Returns though. After following Jerry Goldsmith. I mean, yes, he did the Back to the Future theme, and I'll always love him for that. But The Mummy Returns was very much The Mummy Returns. They decided to make the weekend The Mummy premiered because it did so well that Universal went to Stephen Sommers. They're like, hey, this movie's done so well, we're making another one. And Stephen Sommers says, I don't do sequels. And Universal said, you didn't hear us. We're doing a sequel whether you're on board or not. So they did the sequel. And they just pushed to, low-key spoilers for The Mummy Returns. If you haven't seen the movie from 2001, watch the one from 1999 first, but it's just that they're leaning too hard on the special effects of the day, which is a mistake. I kind of don't want to think it's canon the way what they do with the characters. And one scene, it's a night scene, but I swear to God, it's like they painted a hallway black, put up rows of potted plants, and filmed. It looks so cheap. And that's sad because I don't know what the budget was for either movie, but it just looks the second film should not look cheaper than the first one. Patrick said, maybe AI has turned Frank's head. Sure, he'll snap out of it. I think so. All that AI is not good for him. John Rogers, I heard the Naked Gun remake is good. They did not remake Naked Gun. Do not tell. There's no Leslie Nielsen. There's no Naked Gun remake. Nobody can do what he did. That's why you can't remake comedies, because people nowadays are just not as funny as folks were back then. They're not, like, they might be like, say, a funny actor, but they're not a comedian who was also acting. John Rogers just saw the trailer for Christine 2. Why would you rebuild that car? Who thought that was a good idea? Look, I can fix her. No, absolutely not. Erica Rommel CGI sucks. It depends how it's used. It really does, because sometimes they're using CGI and you don't even realize it. Maybe it's just the sky. There's one point in The Mummy where just like the background, it's nighttime, but it's got like this bluish color to it. I just thought that was lighting, but then you watch the commentary and that they had to like, oh no, that cost money to make it look like that. It's like, oh, maybe that's why it's black later on in the scene. They forgot. So some of it is like background. Maybe it's like buildings off in the background. Like, okay, but when you notice it, it's like editing. When you notice it, okay, like, yeah, you're supposed to notice the special effects in Harry Potter. I get it, but if you're, say, The Rock as the Scorpion King, who thought that was a good idea? Patrick, today's comedians are too woke to be funny and relevant. Yeah, I couldn't tell. The only person I can think of who is a comedian and is funny, like Roseanne, because she's been on, quite frankly, she's been funny on there. I don't know who's still working. I don't know what the comedy. It's not like I keep up with like the comedy scene, like folks doing stand up. I don't know who where. I don't get. I don't understand. It's not something I could ever do, so I'm not trying to study it. I could never do stand up. I'm not a joke writer. Oh, John Rogers said I did watch Megan 2.0. It wasn't bad. Is she like some kind of like robot chick? Is it like Alita Battle Angel? I wanted to watch that because it had Christoph Waltz. But you see the girl in real life, she's prettier in real life, and then they make her eyes real big like an anime character. Why? She's prettier in real life. I don't even know who that chick is. Jill said, except for Leonardo. I don't know what her. I told King 40 if he's found a good video of hers to send it my way, and he hasn't. Because you can't just go to somebody's channel and go to their most viewed video. Maybe that's not their funniest work. I don't know. See, I love going to the movies. It's great, even though I mean, what's the last thing I saw? Joker 2. The lighting in that, I think that's what hurt my eyes. I might have had to wear my sunglasses in it. Um, but I like that. I don't mind paying all that money for the popcorn, and then I do bring earplugs to the theater just for the previews. You're not gonna blow out my ears. What's up, B chap? With your whatever they're advertising. Most of the movies are shit. Like one of the advertisements was for Wicked. Zero F's given. One was for it's like another John Wick, and then they're gonna have Norman Reedus in it. I saw him for a second, so it's like, so it's like John Wick 4 or 5 or 17, but I haven't seen the first one, so um, the Gladiator, who cares? Gladiator 2, F you. Uh, I saw this last year. How can I remember this stuff? But yeah, it's like nothing I want to see, nothing I want to see, and they're like, oh, they want to like entertain you before the movie starts. We have phones now. Shut up, Patrick. She was on Frank's the other week, wasn't she? Was on like last month or the month before. I don't know. I usually don't write down guests, and then when I think to, I'll think, hey, they're like that last guy, Chris. Last name, I still didn't get it. Yeah, whenever she was on, I don't know. I covered it on here. That was one of the longest 3 hour shows of my life. I know it was just 2 hours, but it felt so painful. Not the Leonardo part. I liked her. What I was saying at the last show before I was so rudely interrupted, but there's some younger white guys. They get a tone in their voice that I know they do not know how to do math. So anything money related will be a struggle to talk about. If I come across it, I'll point it out, but it's a very specific tone. I don't know, trying to maybe like sound like they know what they're talking about, but they're 18 or 19. Like we're not talking about gaming, we're talking about finances, and you called me, so you're the one who doesn't know what the hell you're doing. Maybe they don't have a dad, so they don't know how to sound authoritative. But yeah, that's a thing. You get to learn certain tones of voices and certain questions, and you know how the rest of it's gonna go. Like, yeah, this person doesn't understand like 1 plus 1. Now, this is why I like these Minecraft videos. These at Swaley and Puff, they all these friends sometimes play together, so it might be like 6 or 7 of them, maybe more, sometimes less, going on an adventure. And if you don't know Minecraft, you can like run around and talk and see each other, and you hit each other and interact and all that, give each other items. But there's also a chat room down on the side, so it's kind of like with this, we can be talking, with our voices, but we could also be using the chat room, which I've got 2 of them open right now. So it's the same thing, but played a video game. So as they're playing, maybe you can be anywhere in the world and your chat is going to show up for everybody to read. So you don't even have to be in the room. We don't even have to hear you talking. We can read what you say. So we're watching the main scene, and I'm sure it's like Puff doing something. He might be like just working on the garden or something. I like the gardening and the house building in any of these. There's scary stuff going on. There's adventures and explosions, but I like the calm moments, or like laying the foundation, putting the glass in, like bushes maybe, like building the roof, getting the plant set up, kind of like simple stuff. And now some of their other friends I don't know that well. I don't know if they're like wacky. Some of them are trying to like maybe they're trying to be like Puff and try to match his energy, but he's a specific kind of kooky. And I really don't know what they're gonna how they interact with each other. I don't know their channels. I don't know what's gonna come out of their mouths. Oh, Patrick, yeah, thank you. Congrats on the 250 plus followers. Yeah, thank you. It's awesome. Because I started this, I had maybe like 54 followers when I started uploading, not in March, but the March before. So that's like 200 people in a year and a half. That's a lot of folks. It's let me make sure it hasn't gone down. So I was up at 250. Yeah, I'm at 251 right now. So thank you. And the fact that I got 2 subscribers while I was having technical difficulties, like, oh my God, thanks for sticking with me through all the crap. That's so nice. Let me check the battery. Yeah. If you would be so kind as to not freeze, I would appreciate it. John Riders, I watched a video talking about the arcade game Dungeons or Dragon's Lair. It was an awesome game. Oh, sweet. Uh, I forget who even said it. I don't know if it was Moose or one of their other friends. But well, off to the side, there's this conversation going on, something about one guy's girlfriend broke up with him, and so the other guy's like, "Oh, that sucks. Oh well, why'd she break up with you?" And he's, "Is it because of?" Uh, they gave a reason. Something silly like, "Is it because of this?" And the guy's like, "No, it's because of my crippling drug addiction." Or my crippling drug habit is something like that. And the next thing said, and I saw this a few days ago. I haven't been the same since. They said having a drug addiction is low key a vibe. It is. Dude, it really is. Like think about it. Like you always have to like maintain a buzz or make sure you always have your stuff around so you can party. It's totally a vibe. That's what I like about people from different generations. The way they can look at the same situation and just word it differently, or just like, 'cause they have to, different generations have their different worldviews because of when they were born. So they're just the way they express the same the same thought about the same situation. Instead of like, oh no, it's so like drugs are so bad, you're gonna ruin your life. It's like, no, man, that just not really just saying whether it's good or bad. It's just low key a vibe. It really is. I wouldn't want to be a totally sober person. What would I be addicted to then? Actually, it was movies. Before I did drugs, movies were my drugs. I'd be at work, just like fiending, like just I just want to like scratch my arms up because I wanted to get home and pop in Titanic. Like when you first play Titanic, and the because it starts with the music. I haven't seen it in so many years. I'm thinking using memory here, but you get a couple of notes, and then the Sissel starts singing. That's the girl singing the theme, and that like a 20th Century Fox, and we see the bow, and it's all sepia. I was just like fiending for that. And then once you start the movie, you're in it for 3.5 hours. And then I was also closing, so I get done watching the movie, and the sun's coming up. Like I need to go to bed. Like, yeah, that was bad, man. Patrick said, we all love you, Nikki. You're great to watch. Hopefully, we get a few more people to join us. Yeah, it's so cool to be. I knew, like, not to have a big head about myself, but I knew I would get up to 250 by New Year's Day in a couple of months. But it, like, I'm not gonna like double that in 2 months, so it's like calm down. But that is so cool. And then I thought, well, like, what if I say this and then I lose 5 subscribers? Oh well, screenshot, it's still true. So that's the first time it hit that much. So it's true no matter what. John Rogers, I think I have it on VHS. Yeah, it's 2 VHSs when he got Titanic. I remember that. Patrick says, I think I use 123 Movies all free. Yeah, that's the one. I think that's the one Shane recommended for the Prestige. So yeah, I couldn't get it to work on my TV. I think I got to fight with it a little bit more, but it worked on the laptop. But it's a smaller screen, so by the end of 2 hours, my eyes were hurting. So that's no good for other movies, unfortunately. It does work. Like it plays them well. It doesn't skip. It doesn't stutter. There's subtitles if you want. You can make it full screen. So it is a good platform to use if it works on your device. To definitely check it out. Nothing feels worse when I'll go through Tubi looking for movies because it's free. But then I'll go over to Netflix and you find the exact same thing. Like, how messed up is that if you're. What if you would have paid for it on Netflix when you could have just got to Tubi and it's free? But I already have Netflix, so it's not like I just got it or anything. Yeah, having a drug addiction is low key a vibe. Yeah, you ever met a heroin addict? Patrick, yeah, hook the laptop to the TV. Easy to do. Yeah, I could just plug it into the. Do I have one of those cords? Huh. I could. I've never done that. I should. It's right there. Just stick it in. But yeah, the content creator is not the parent. So if your child is watching something and you don't like what the content creator says, that's it. Don't, like, say, get in the comments or send them an email or a DM on Twitter talking about the way they act in a video because your child sat and watched it. Like, they're not the parent. That child is not their dependent. You are the parent. You're responsible for not liking what you heard somebody else say, and that's it. You cannot like it as much as you want, but you don't control the content creator. You don't have any right to say anything to them about it. HDMI, yeah, I just don't know if I have that cable. Well, yeah, no, because there is one. There's got to be one for the DVD player, so I can just unhook it from the back of that. Yeah, okay, so it's already hooked up. Yeah, I'm like 95% sure that's true. Yeah, because it's got that weird. Well, they all got weird shape where it's like kind of like bigger around the top, and then it goes in. It's, you know what it looks like. I'm so high tech. Kind of like that thing when I was telling you about in this one long video. It was like this drama that just continued where this kid's like, yeah, my mom doesn't want me watching your channel, Swaley, because she heard you curse once, so I'm not supposed to be watching this. And then, oh, I've got to go. My mom caught me watching this. And then it turned into, okay, I can watch it. My mom's okay. She's cool with it, kind of a thing. Like, yeah, he did like swear, like you can hear him saying like dropping F-bombs or son of a bitch kind of a things maybe a year ago, but he steers away from that now to keep his content more kid friendly. Just less to censor out too. It's just at the end of the day, if you want to appeal to a younger crowd, you can't have the blue language in there. But that's not his fault, you know. It's okay to just keep it in the chat room. It would have been another thing if that mom would have say like got into the comment section and said something to Swaley about it. It's like, you're not his mother, you're the mother of the child watching it, so learn your place. Patrick, haven't watched TV for about 7 to 8 years. The last time I watched TV, it was when I was trying to catch American Horror Story New York. It's basically spooky Pose. If you watch Pose, imagine that at Halloween, but it's for many episodes. So I had to set an alarm to even like show up, and then ad breaks. Yeah, so that's the only. And when was that on? Like 4 years ago, maybe something like that. The main actor was good. He's a Capricorn. Can't remember his name, but I was sticking with it for him. It has Patty LuPone in it. She's in a few episodes. They could have used her more. That was one of the careful, 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 careful. That was one of the complaints about that season is that they had these great actors that they just barely did anything with, and then it was over. But it's worth checking out. Not the worst season of American Horror Story. It's not Apocalypse. It's not 1984. It Cult is just too much. Like I watched it. It is very Evan Peters heavy, and I really do like him. But it's like it was 2017, and it's like covering like the 2016 election, so it kind of felt like it just happened. Like, why are we still on this? Like dude putting Cheeto dust on his face. It's kind of just like all the way through, but it's worth it because you do get the payoff in maybe the final episode, which you should. So like it's not the worst season at all. Like I think I would watch like it does it's Sarah Paulson heavy, so if you don't like her, I guess you wouldn't like it, but she's a good actress. Patrick, yeah, the internet has everything you want. John Rogers, I only catch regular TV for the weather before I go to work. Just get the weather app on your phone so you're not a slave to that. Here's the local on the 8s. Fucking hated that on the Weather Channel. That's why I was so happy when I got my tablet, smartphone, whichever. I never had to watch that again. Ugh. And it's hard to get a good weather app on your phone because it has to be visually like appealing. And I like to see like the graph of the weather. Okay. Like again, catching these like tragic things that have happened online. And I think this one was specifically Reddit incidences, but one of these threads was going around talking about like, hey, if you mix these chemicals together in a bowl or a cup, and you put some pennies in there, and then you take a straw and blow on the pennies, and it turns it into crystals. And then there's like a picture of crystals, and what it actually was maybe ammonia, well, like nerve gas or something. It's isn't it like when you take bleach and ammonia and you mix it? You're not supposed to. Don't do that. That they were getting kids to, well, anybody dumb enough to try something they saw online, they got them to do that. And some people got hospitalized for it. Some people died from it. And I like some channels for background noise when busy around the house. Yeah, that's why I have Grace Still Plays videos. I just have that. I want to hear something like positive and soothing going on. John Rogers, I use the WKYC3 weather app. One to go to forecast bar, my favorite app. What's mine called? Now you can't look at any, all this is good for is just looking at like the main screen, because if you try to look at anything else, it gives you an ad, so don't use it for that. What's it called? I'm not rating the app. What's it even called? Weather? I don't know. It looks like this. That app. Then I gotta the widget on there so I can see the graph, so I don't have to actually go into it. That's a step too far. So this was like a popular thing that was going on Reddit, and then of course it makes it onto other platforms, and people get hurt. Don't do things you see online, but I don't know. That sort of applies to adults, but then it gets to the point where somebody who tried this did die, because then here's this post talking about my 11-year-old saw this thing on Reddit and did it and died. And so now the parent, the mother is looking like basically trying to find the OP so they can sue them for her 11-year-old dying. But let's go to the very beginning of that sentence where my 11-year-old was on Reddit. So you want to sue some random post for you being a bad parent. Who's letting their 11-year-old online, first of all? Sue yourself. That's on you, lady. Like, I'm sorry that's the way it happened. I'm sorry that's the way you had to find out. Hopefully you don't have two kids and this doesn't happen to the next one. Patrick, I use the Brave browser, no ads, sweet. I don't know how long it would take to. I can't get the Brave browser on my TV, so I can't watch anything through it on the. I just use the YouTube app on the TV. And I don't watch ads, I back out of them. Beach app said the brand new condition Caterpillar waterproof Android smartphones look all right. Cool. Like Caterpillar, like the construction equipment? Or is it like green? Does it like does it scrunch up and get bigger and scrunch up like it's like an accordion instead of like the flip phone? It's like an accordion phone, so the screen breaks even faster, and it's $3,000. That's why I don't feel bad for people doing these like Tide Pod challenges, and then you next thing you know, you wake up in heaven. If you copy something you see on some random website and die, it's not an accident. That's never an accident. That was your fate. You were born to be put on this planet just to die because you saw somebody doing something online or in a TikTok or the like. One thing I didn't get, I shouldn't be watching tornado videos in the summertime. Why do they advertise them then? But it's for a while they were just up there and around. And I guess this has never happened before. And all of the storm chasing, tornado watching history, a tornado so far has really only killed one time, and it was like maybe like 3 people on this one day. So it might be a well-known thing. I just yeah, that sucks for them. I'm sorry. That's at least they died doing something they love, so there's that. I'm sure it was scary and everything. But after the fact, they're sitting there with the family, so there's like the wife there, I assume, and she's crying as she should be. And she's like, "Oh my God, we're just so devastated." And my heart goes out to her. But then she says, "I don't know how this could have happened." Now I've heard about folks leading like double lives before, but when your husband left every day in his truck, what did he tell you he was going to do? Oh, honey, I've got another day in the dentist office. I'll be right back. And then he comes home and his hair is all wind blown. And oh, honey, how was the dentistry today? And oh, it was fine. I just pulled some teeth and just. Did you not know what your husband did for a living? Like you just found out today he was a storm chaser. I don't know how this could have happened. Like if he was storm chasing and maybe eating a Snicker bar and choked to death and like, pulled off to the side and crashed his car and died, yeah, then I couldn't see how that could have happened. But if your job is to chase tornadoes and a tornado chases you back and wins, that should be the most expected death you could have ever imagined for your husband. You should have known that was coming someday, or that it could have been coming someday. If you would have found out he was chasing a tornado and got knocked into a pool and drowned, okay, be surprised. I don't know how that could have happened either. What are the odds? And, and like, when you're upset and in the moment, you're not really thinking about what you're saying. So maybe she just said it and didn't realize it because of the, like the trauma and the stress and all that. But you, I, you can't pray away a tornado. If that's your fate, it's coming for you and it's tearing up all of your stuff. I don't know how you can get around that. If you live up in Alaska and get hit by a tornado, okay, yeah, I don't know how that could happen either. I don't think tornadoes can happen that far north. So, like, congratulations for being killed by the first tornado in Alaska. Can't even really be sad about that because it's so epic. Similar situation with the waterproof Android electronic smartphones. Look pretty cool. All look pretty good, quality built as well, but sadly also come with a pretty good price tag. There's no reason to really get a brand new. If they're advertising a phone, you don't need it because it's going to be over $1,000. If you're going to pay that much for a phone, just get a proper computer. Get a Steam account and start playing Minecraft. Not sponsored. Sponsor me, Minecraft. I'm an old school gamer. That will be fun. That's the one thing that's a little bit because I know they make controllers. You can play controllers with anything, but anytime I've played video games is with controllers. I've never done. I played like WoW for about 5 minutes. It wasn't my account, but ASWD and hotkeys to play. I've never done that before, so that would be all new to me. Oh, Beachap saying the employees at the entertainment store said the phone calls aren't as clear with the waterproof mobile phones. Oh, yeah. Like Cricket, it's a very cheap company. Don't get them. It makes the phone quality. You don't need like this like clicking sound every few seconds in your call. Oh, Patrick, I use an iPhone 5 Plus, old but covers my needs. Only spend £10 a month. I think that's about 13 to 15. Not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's not bad. That might be better than my plan. It's already paid for it. It's like a whole year. It's the Mint Mobile, so you pay for it once and you don't got to worry about it again until June or July, whenever it goes through. Beachep, yep, I don't like those lot who deliberately get closer to electrical thunderstorm. I mean, like, I understand it, you like for science and wanting to know that kind of stuff. It is interesting, but if you marry somebody in that line of work, you better just have your funeral prepaid, have your finances in order, because once you're gone, and your family's just left to pick up the pieces and not have a breadwinner. So you don't leave them fucked over because you think it's cool to like chase the wind. And I realize there's nothing else to do out there. You see these like the videos, and it's the Field of Dreams without the James Horner music. It's just corn and roads and fields and just every street is just like straight up and down, nothing slanty, which that's fine. And just nothing for miles. And don't get those above ground shelters, because if one thing I've learned from watching these videos, if you have like an F4 or F5 whatever coming through your shelter, is not, it's just as gone as the house. You just the foundation of it is all that's going to be left. You might as well just stand outside. It's just stay in your regular house. It would have been cheaper. The funniest one though, this is kind of a famous video. This guy is shooting a tornado from like his two-story house. He's upstairs. You can see it coming closer. Like power lines getting, like the power getting knocked out and all this stuff. And then like the dude's wife is downstairs, and it's like holy shit. A tornado hits, and you're thinking this man is so dead. Oh my God, they're gonna come back from this and tell me he passed away. And you're getting ready to hear it, but then you hear he's fine. It's like, oh thank God. Like wait, he had a wife though. And it was either like the wife or like they had a friend. Like this old woman passed away, and it was only because she wouldn't go down into the basement because she was afraid of spiders. Now I saw Twister back in the day, and I've seen these storm chasing videos and whatnot. But one thing no one ever mentions in that movie, what no one ever mentions in any of those videos, you will never hear the word spider. I've never heard. I've seen arachnophobia too. I've never heard once of like spider activity increasing during a tornado. So I don't think when the wind is blowing, their priority is snacks. So this woman was more afraid of spiders than getting ripped apart by the air. I would say she's got to live with that decision, but she's 6 feet under now. So, but LOL. If that's what you're more afraid of, how did you live this long anyway? It's been your time for a while. It's just go back to Jesus. Just no. I hope he looks like a giant spider just to scare you one more time. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Come in. Just of all the ways that I mean, maybe she was suicidal. Who knows? Just like, these people that die in weird ways, we don't know what's going on with them. It might just be like funny or strange. Maybe they were done. Maybe they couldn't take it anymore. And it's like, well, I can load my shotgun, or I can. A tornado's right there. I'm already sitting down. Just wait for it. We don't know. Patrick said, we have lots of phone companies here, and they're always vying against each other for price, vying against each other price wise. Like, who the hell cares? Oh, it keeps getting on my glasses. Are you serious? That's okay. I can do this again. I can't read the chat room, though. That's so sad. That one lady that can't see, so she can't tell Frank's not wearing a hat. But she keeps calling in, so I'm glad she's a Frankly. How did she find the show? Like, how do you get around when you're blind? Like, it seems like she's like very blind. Like, it's not like it's just enough to be legally blind. It sounds like all the way. I don't even know if she can sense light. There's a whole other room of folks here. Thank you, One to Go To. That's one of the most important questions anybody's ever asked. I've always liked this question. But do caterpillars know they're going to be butterflies? Or do they build a cocoon in ignorance of the potential future of their intelligent design? Yeah, I saw that in a tweet. It's like, so do caterpillars know they're going to be butterflies? Or do they just build the cocoon like, what the fuck am I doing? That's an excellent question. I wonder that. Is it like the Field of Dreams where you just do it? Like, I guess I should get in here. I don't know why, but it's really tight. And like, holy shit, I've got wings. Wow. I don't think they know. It's just something they know they have to do, but they don't know why, so they do it and then they end up with good results. Hopefully they like to fly. Wouldn't you be pissed off if you're like, okay, this is what nature's telling me to do. I'm going to put on the super tight coat, and then you get your wings and you're like, I'm afraid of heights. Ugh. I don't know about this. Birds? Oh, God. No, I want to go back. So you build a kitty. You can't build a cocoon when you're a butterfly, so you can't go back. Wow. That's kind of sad. That would be an interesting story to write. Write it from the perspective of, like, I didn't want these damn wings. Patrick, wonder how many worry about being a moth. Holy shit, fire! And you wake up in moth heaven with moth Jesus and oh, you too? Like, but it was so bright and shiny, and like, we know, that's how we all got up here. Come on in. It's like that. Like, well, I mean, cats know what they're doing. It depends on the cat. I don't know about insects and bugs. Hmm. Are they regular bugs, or are they like evil in some way? uh, sort of like Dracula or like a vampire comes around and all like the worms come out, the bats come out, and all the creepy crawly rats and critters appear. You hear an owl suddenly and there's no trees around. Like that's what it is. Some mornings, I don't know where because they've cut down trees around here in the last so many years, but there's an owl somewhere and it's got to be very far. And I bring that up because I forget about this. But the house I grew up in, we were there for many years, like over a decade. And in the neighbor's yard, there was always this giant pine tree. And then there must have been an owl in there. I never saw it coming and going, could not see a nest, but you would always hear a lot like the owl, who sound that they make. And it was, close, so it's right in the backyard. Of course, you can hear it. And I sort of realized they don't hear that anymore now. And I haven't lived there in, I don't know, like 20, no, not 20 years, more than that. I think we moved out in 96. Yeah, 96. So I didn't know, like 30 years. Want to go to, like, I love this channel, but I'm puzzled as to just why exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Yeah. I like this channel too. I'm not subscribed to a lot of girls. Like, I don't watch any, like, chick channels regularly. But I like to watch this show because it's weird to see somebody with energy, and then I realize it's myself, and I sort of like today I did drink a Monster. Yesterday I just had coffee, but I wanted to be a little bit more awake since it's 250 subscribers. Um, it's weird to see, and it's good to see myself with energy. So it kind of like picks because I'll sort of be like a little bit tired earlier in the day, and just then I watch myself like, oh, that's kind of waking me up and making me feel better somehow. And I still can't put my thumb on it, and I'm the one doing it. So I get that. Like it took me a while to get people said it was cozy, and it's just maybe because I'm on the other side of it and just am doing all the work. I didn't really get that, but then watching it back, I'm like, yeah, I can sort of see that. I get it now. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. And because it's not like other stuff on YouTube, anything else on YouTube, it's all like everything. YouTube is very much like the 1930s in Hollywood, where everything has to be like MGM, just everything perfect and in place, and your special effects and your perfect thumbnail, and everything has to look perfect, and makeup and ring light and background music and stuff. Want to go or yeah, want to go to. You're welcome. Dragon Sage, glad you made it. Yeah, it just everything everybody else does on YouTube channels, but maybe this was how YouTube was back when it started 20 years ago, but I sadly was not online as much as I should have been 20 years ago. So I am kind of bummed that I've missed out on stuff, and then I've got to learn about it after the. I like history anyway, so I get to learn about YouTube after the fact, just by from. Got some animal abusers out there. We usually do. Dragon Sage, I'm ground and sounded. Yeah, are you I know you just said yesterday where you were at. In the hotel still traveling? That was yesterday. That was like 2 days ago for me, you guys. I don't know what to do about that. Oh, if you look for the episode, one of the episodes from yesterday, I don't know why it does this. It's not showing the thumbnail, it just comes up all gray, but it's not doing that on every platform. So if it's doing that for you, it must just be YouTube acting up, because I even went into YouTube Studio to make sure it did have the thumbnail, because it did when I set it up, and I don't know why it was just, it could be Mercury retrograde. So if you do see that, don't worry, you can still watch that episode. It's just doing that. It's just being weird. Dragon Sage, I fly to Montreal tomorrow, then fly up to the mine on Monday. Oh, right. Now, are these mines near airports, or is it like traveling a ways away to get to them. I'm just wondering if they're putting airports within a certain proximity of mines now. I mean, I understand mining's important, so we need to, get that stuff out. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Patrick. Yeah, sound is an Irish saying, meaning spot on. I hear like Scottish folks. I hear them say something is a okay or cool or that's all right. They say sound. I get it. I get it now. That makes sense. Not sound as in the body of water, uh, which I've forgotten exactly what that is. How can a water be called sound when, I mean, I know water makes sound, but maybe it should be called a heavy or a wet. I don't know. I don't name those things. Oh, sweet. Dragon Sage, some mines have their own airport and security force. Huge gold mines. Yeah, go up at gold. Yeah, I can understand that. Like, wow, all of these armed guards look so mean. Oh, well, maybe it's all that explains the dragon in there. Okay, they have to have dragons guarding the mines, and yeah, it all makes sense now. I get it. Still, Montreal is a cool city. At least it was 20 years ago. Oh, cool. Yeah, Dragon Sage's Montreal is still cool. I love it. That's good. I like when Dragon Sage was filming around. I assume that was his town because everything is just so just quaint. It's the only way I can put it. It's like around here when you would drive to a town that's, like a town that's actually smaller. They don't have like a Walmart and Starbucks and stuff like that. It's just like one of those towns in between onto a bigger place. It kind of makes me think of that. Sort of like back in the day, going back to like 50s, 40s, just quick. Like, all it needs is like the old fashioned cars in the shot, and maybe some folks in some maybe old timey clothing, like a couple of cosplayers. And you would think like you could go up there and film a movie and say it was the 1950s or the 40s or something like that, just with the buildings as they are. Just get some real extras in there and the cars. It's so it exists right now. It's creepy to see. Like that's a real place I can go to right now this year. It's not like staged for this. One to go to, Safe and Sound by Capital Cities, 2011, a favorite tune. I didn't know who did that, but that's one of those songs that it was so popular. You know it even if you don't know who does it. Dragon Sage says I make videos all over Canada, lots of different towns. That's cool. I like that little stuff. It's like churches, just the older buildings, well built, they're being maintained. I like that kind of stuff. It's not like lights and drones and billboards and just that nastiness. Oh, it's just artificial. I don't know. I like the older stuff anyway. Anytime they build something new, they try to make it look modern so it looks ugly. Why can't you build a new building in a retro style so it's pleasant to look at? I'm sure you've seen these comparisons that they show buildings from, a couple hundred years ago, Gothic style and in a revivalist style, or like pillars like it's ancient Greece, and jump to now. Everything is a gray box, like flat roof, and no windows, or if it does have windows, they just make them ugly somehow. Oh, Patrick says, it's a French-speaking city, isn't it? Yeah. What's up with? Can you just go up to Canada and speak English anywhere, or are there certain towns or cities where, like, they can understand you, but they're not going to speak English back to you on purpose? I don't know if they're like that up there. Or I have heard about Canada that somebody's like, "Oh man, Canada's such a messed up place. Half of the country speaks French, and the other half of the country lets them." Dragon says technically yes, but lots of English speaking folks. Now Quebec City, that's mostly French. Ooh, yeah, I'll stay out of there. I just don't. I first of all don't know enough French, but I know enough to know that the French in France is not the French in Canada, like Spanish in Spain versus Spanish in Mexico. Oh, Dragon Sage. Parts of New Brunswick are French too. Some of them are dicks and hate English people. Oh man. Oh, that's not very nice of them. I don't know. Maybe they have their reasons. They just have had bad experience with Americans, so they've got their bias. Because I mean, that's the way I am too. If you've had to deal with some other type of people and all you've had is trouble with them, okay, you've earned the right to talk shit about them. It's from personal experience. But don't just be, I don't know, hating on Icelanders and you've never met somebody from Iceland. It's like, what the hell's your problem, man? They're just people. It's just cold up there. Like, give somebody a chance to piss you off before you're a dick to them. Maybe they'll surprise you. That happens with me a lot. Sometimes I'll either meet people or like just come across them or like maybe like a YouTube channel. Like they rub me the wrong way initially, or they're just something about them I don't like. I'm like, oh, why did I click on this? I can't wait to get this out of my history. God, why am I watching this? But then you like stick with it for a little while and you're like, well, okay, maybe it was just a bad intro. And then maybe by the end of the video, you're like, you know what? They have a point. I wasn't feeling it at first. I'm glad I stuck with it. Maybe they've got another video like this, and then you click on it, and then maybe that's their style. Maybe that's their style to be a little bit irksome in the beginning, and then they knock that shit off for the rest of the video, and it's pleasant. Maybe they don't realize they're doing it. Or there's people that again have come across, don't like them at first, but then as you talk to them or just see them interact with other folks, you realize like maybe it was just a bad impression. Maybe we were just both having a bad day. Hey, they're actually really cool. Or sometimes relationships start out like that. Like some friendships start out like that. You don't like each other at first. Like with Tony Black, he was talking about in his neighborhood, it seemed to be people would just dislike each other to the point that one of them had to grab that thing and fire off a few shots like you're walking in your house and you're like bullet holes around the frame, and then somehow a few days later they talk it out and then they're best friends for the rest of their lives. That's just how it was back then, so that still happens. Patrick, the British and French fought over it for a while. I'll be Chapa. It's not only the French, there's also some Russian Federation folks. Some people who reside in Poland are also passive aggressive bullies. Yeah, just as much as I like Polish folks, they've kind of got a reason to be mad. This only works if you know the Polish flag. You can look it up, of course, but the blue in the Polish flag represents their allies during World War II. And I can't tell if you know that already. You can go ahead and look it up and have a laugh. Just, I don't know where I heard that joke from. Of course, it's not mine. Probably online somewhere. Um, I did just online somewhere. I don't really, of course, I wouldn't hear jokes in real life because I don't hang out with people and everything I find is online. I've known some funny folks, just not around them anymore. Mr. Mission Control. Oh, I do that shit on purpose all the time in my videos now. Yeah, like as much as I love Puff, he is a sweetheart. His heart's in the right place. He's funny and chatty and like it just does a little bit of everything, but he does get kind of annoying. Oh, Leanne, glad you made it. Yeah, because should have said this at the beginning. Thank you to Leanne. She did super chat. It says, hope you can go to the QF event. Thank you. This came in yesterday. Must have been after the show. So thank you for that. Thank you. Patrick, yeah, the Polish flag is red and white. Yep. But yeah, I guess somewhere along the line, Puff made his own cowbell. And so when people donate, he yells cowbell and then shakes the cowbell. And sometimes that lasts for a long time. Sometimes it's just one ring. But I'm often having to skip past that because of my tinnitus. I just can't. And like, I'm glad he's getting the donations and people like his channel because that's his main source of income. But it gets to be a bit much. And then he's got a harmonica and a flute and a slide whistle, and it gets to be too much sometimes. It's almost to the point I almost prefer his videos that he puts together and edits that are not lives to get rid of all that cowbell type of stuff. But it's kind of part of his shtick. You just sort of have to put up with it for better or worse. Leanne said, I didn't know that. Hey, Nikki and everyone. Yeah. Mr. Mission Control, at least you have a job and can still work. Yeah. This is, if you consider YouTube a job, then yeah, yeah, I mean, I do think of it as work, but, it's work that, and there's no W-2 involved. Um, you still, I take this more seriously than any other job that I've had since I don't like who the hell are those people? I don't, you're never gonna see them again. Everybody's strangers. Nobody care. Like there's less, like the fact that cell phones are around, people spend more time on their phones and like building up what like team, like talking to each other. So just like you working together as a team, it's not gonna be as strong as it was say 20 years ago. So it's, I don't want to use up all of my best material on strangers. Why am I entertaining people just to like cash you out and ring up your junk? Like screw you. Why, and for whatever you're making an hour, like you're not paying me to be entertaining. I shouldn't have to like think I should have to entertain these people. Oh, Mr. Mission Control, my tinnitus kicked up bad night before last. It's ringing right now again too. Oh, have some caffeine. Have some, like, like, start with 200 milligrams of caffeine as soon as you wake up. They make pills called, well, Stacker 2s are 200 milligrams. I take Swarms, they're 300 milligrams a piece. But like that 200, like, start with that every morning. You won't have to have any extra coffee or anything else with caffeine. And I get it's not the ringing, it's the whooshing sound. And that's the only thing that helps. Dragon Sage, yeah, more cowbells. I don't know if he knows that skit. That's one thing, because I'm trying to just gauge what his knowledge is, because he's like 23, but he knows about this boomer type stuff. So, like, who taught him this? So it does get to be a bit much with all the extras, but that is kind of his shtick, and it works for him. Um, you know, he's younger with the energy, so it is going to be a bit much. So I get that, and I like that they have a lot of energy. I sort of feed off of that. That's why I like dance music. I like that high energy because I don't have any myself. Uh, it's he does like have like a higher pitched voice for a guy. And he's got a bit of an accent I'm trying to place. Like I couldn't even really talk like him. It's like he's from like it's almost as if maybe he spent time in New York or New Jersey. So there's like a little bit of that New Yorkish accent to some words. It's still new to me. I've only been really on this for I don't know when I started, a couple months now. When the depression, sometime after I found out I had to rewrite all of my Dark Shadows notes and the depression got worse. I could find that out. One to go to. Cowbell and woodblock are amazing musical instruments. They really are. And the only reason I don't say something about the cowbell, like the man actually made it. He didn't buy it. He actually physically had to piece it together. So it's something he made that's different. Mr. Mission Control, I freaked some people out by suggesting that the mass tinnitus ringing was caused by the approach of 3I Atlas. What's that? Patrick says get eardrops. Do eardrops help for tinnitus? I don't understand how having sounding like everything's underwater with the whooshing sound would make it would help. Dragon Sage, a lot of my musician friends have tinnitus. I'm lucky, not to so far. Yeah, I've always got earplugs in my purse just in case. Leanne, goat bells are great too, made of wood, different sizes, so you can hear the different bell sounds in the distance. Oh, cool! I like wooden stuff makes a cool sound. Oh, Leanne found some goat bells in an antique shop. Mission Control says my tinnitus is mainly caused by my degenerative discs in my neck. Oh, 3-1 Atlas, the interstellar object comet. No, I don't know about the 3-1 Atlas. I know we're not lucky enough to get. I'm not lucky enough to be killed. So while I'm alive, the planet's not going anywhere. So get that doomer mindset out of your mind. It's not going to. You're not getting off that easily. And besides, I've watched Gray Still Plays Destroy the Planet so many times in Universe Sandbox 2. It's nothing to me. We could handle it if it did happen. So it's fine. It might be at 30,000 degrees Fahrenheit on the Earth, but we'll be fine. There's still 1% chance of life in Florida somewhere. Yeah, I don't mess with outer space too much. Sometimes I might have dreams I'm in outer space, not too often. That one time I was tripping balls, and I was just flying there, just flying past planets like Gray Still Plays. Like, dude, I am tripping. It was probably like 20 minutes out of it was like a regular time of day like this. Leanne, I heard the moon had rings. Wonder what it sounds like. If it's hollow and it has rings and one of the rings bumped it, you'd hear like that ringing sound through the whole thing. Dragon Sage 3, I Atlas may be intelligently controlled. Frank needs to bring it up on the channel, so I'll know what it's about. It doesn't come up on Tumblr, so I wouldn't know. One to go to 3-1 Atlas is an interstellar comet discovered by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Blast Alert System Station at Rio Hurtado, Chile on July 1st, 2025. Leanne rings like a bell. Yeah. Dragon Sage, it's changing speed and trajectory. Very odd. Yeah, indeed. I think they're making it up. We can't prove it's out there. They might just it could just be some CGI. Oh my God! Look, it's getting closer. It's changing course. I don't know. Any other time this asteroid is gonna come so close to us. Like they say that. I don't notice any differences though. Dragon Sage says to Leanne, "That's no moon." Yeah, if I go to the meetup, I'll have to combine that with a subscriber 250 subscriber meetup. No. Mission Control. It's an intergalactic mushroom spore panspermic entity thing. Yeah, that sounds about right. Patrick, yeah, I think they're trying to hard to scare us. Yeah, they were trying to scare people with war and nukes, so that didn't work. So now they're going to outer space and aliens and then it's going to be the world is going through rapid cooling, and they're going to start talking about that. Let's say September 23rd, and then we're going to hear about how the Earth is heating up too much as soon as it gets into April. They do that every year. It's like how like the nautical theme comes around every spring. Every spring, you like blue and white stripes and anchors, and every single year. I'm sick of seeing it. It's the same like with fashion. It's the same thing with news. Yeah, Leanne, Earth is cooling now. Yeah, it's been cooler the last couple of days anyway. I kind of wanted a cooler summer, but then there's that year we didn't have a summer in the 1800s, was it? Like a volcano went off somewhere. Maybe it was Krakatoa, and just everything was. There's a video of it. I've got to watch it again. I used to know more about it, but it's just everything gets covered up for a while. So it's rainy and it's cold, so we can't grow anything. So people can't eat, and then they're starving, and famines happen, and just people don't have a good time. But that's also the same time Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein, so maybe it wasn't all bad. Dragon Sage says to Leah, not 100% sure, but it's not our moon, very unnatural, probably a base or observation platform for the Anunnaki. Oh, okay. Leanne, right, the little ice age, yeah. Back when I was growing up, it was acid rain. Acid rain. I had never done acid, but I knew what rain was, and it just got everything wet. It didn't, like all the cars didn't turn to rust after it rained. Patrick, yeah, probably Al Gore screaming as usual. Yeah. Is he still alive? Al Gore rhythm. Oh, who was that? That was. Is it Glidus or Alt Shift X? Alt Shift X. He's been going through for years. I don't know if he's ever going to get it done, but it's Game of Thrones abridged. He's up to his episode 113. It's Catelyn 5. Um, A Clash of Kings. Sorry, it's the acronym. I couldn't think of it. A Clash of Kings. It just him talking about every chapter of the book. I started watching it from the beginning years ago, and I couldn't really keep with it because they weren't all good. He would do a lot of like throat clearing and just making odd sounds you should not be making when you're reviewing something like that. So it was just gross and not entertaining. So I just kind of fell off and didn't. I was trying to keep up with. I think I got through the first book, so that's a lot, and it just kind of fell off. But like they got better later on, but they're also more infrequent. But if you can show up to them, they're good. And one thing, it does have the chat directly. It's like it's centered in the middle of the screen. It's so odd to see the chat. It's not off to the side anywhere. Dead center in the bottom. So like if you say something, you can see your name pop up. But those are good. It's just as if you were to just read the chapter and talk about it with your friends. Like, okay, it's weird that this is happening, and how come every time? And I was sort of like half awake, half asleep, and then I actually looked at the time, like I should be in bed, but I kept it on, fell asleep with it on. It was fun. Oh, beach app, yeah, just Google search. Al Gore is 76 years old. Leanne, yeah, 76 in 2000, maybe. Patrick, yeah, no problem tonight. Nikki, God blessing you. Yeah, yeah, thank you, Internet Jesus. Thank you, Cables and Streamlabs and Mercury Retrograde and the camera and you guys. Leanne, German silver is mostly nickel. Just learned that when I thought I had sterling. What? So if a vampire is after you and you pull out your silver cross, but it's actually nickel, it is still a cross, so it would work, but I don't know. They might be able to like knock it out of your hand. That's a Dragon Stage. I've been to Sudbury. There's a giant nickel, but like is it like a statue and it has the whoever's the wait a minute, American nickel or Canadian nickel? Because Canadians, I've learned this. They use syrup for currencies. So what are they doing with coins? Leanne, yeah, it ain't silver. Dragon Sage, you better have a steak. This just chucking change at this vampire isn't working. Hold on, let me shave this off real quick. Chat makes me feel like buying and using a Secret Labs gaming chair. All of those gaming chairs have a high back, and then they also have a like a pillow that you can take off and put back on. I usually have my hair clipped up, so it wouldn't do me any good to have a high back on a chair. And also in my car, like the headrests are not on the car; they're in the trunk because I've explained this before. But when I'm in the car, I want to be able to see, and I'm not Superman, so I can't see through a headrest. And I got shit for taking those off of my car when I was in the Netherlands. Yeah, and I do often have my hair clipped up when I'm in the car, so I don't need to look down at my crotch when I'm driving, when the road and everything is up here. There's nothing I know that they say like, oh, if you get into an accident, it's supposed to like help with whiplash, but the way to not get into an accident is to be able to see when you're driving. Patrick said sterling is the British mark for precious metals. Oh, Dragon Sage at the nickel mine in Sudbury. Oh, okay, so this is where the nickel comes from. Now, is there a a dime mine? And there's a giant. Who's on the dime? Eisenhower. One to go to. Wonder if wooden nickels would make a good wind chime. Mm, while like giant wooden wind chimes do have a nice sound to them, uh, wind chimes are sort of a well, like bells dispel evil, but chimes are just noise, so people cannot enjoy the wind. It's like how hell is not filled with screaming, it's not filled with, say, loud music, it's just filled with the noise. They don't say what the noise is, but if you hear a sound and all it is noise, it's probably evil. So that's the mark of it. If you want to find where like all the trashy people live, look for the wind chimes. There's no need to have that constant noise. You're ruining the breeze for everybody else. That's that's something NPCs hang up. Now, if you need like say like a chime effect in a song or like in the score of a film, that's different. It's there on purpose, not just ruining the sound of the wind. Leanne, wooden nickel, a round to it. Yeah, Dragon said yeah, times were silver until the mid 60s. Was it is it like 1964? You can tell on the side, you flip it on the side and you can see there's like a line in the middle. And you can if you know what silver looks like, it's like it's got a like a white-ish tinge to it. It's the only way I can explain it when I'm seeing like real silver versus like fake silver or like costume jewelry. Hey chap, the doctor I usually see is short and very wide, but also very clever. Dragon Sage, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know what their what their like per hour consumption is. Cacophony is noisy. Yeah, that cacophony is a great word, by the way. Mission Control. I've got shell wind chimes in the backyard to keep mermaids away. Oh, they might take them and use them for bras. I don't. You might just be attracting them. You just see like wet fish fin marks on your, like the front walkway up to the house, and like suddenly all the shelves are gone. They did it again. Every time it rains, they're coming up through the drains. Pennywise is helping these chicks out. I knew it. Damn it, Tim Curry. Okay. Now, next week coming up, it's a full week. Plus, we've got Wednesday when we go to Morning Sickness Matt right after, quite frankly. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Matt Christensen with an E. And sometimes it just feels like an extra half hour of, quite frankly, but we won't be able to see the screen because he keeps a white article up there the whole time, and so it's just him and Frank, just very small off to the side, and then Matt wears lipstick. He's allowed to. Dragonside, she sells seashells down by the seashore. Threepenny, threepenny bits, pieces, Cockney rhyming slang for tits. Okay, yeah, Cockney rhyming slang is great. I had a book with some of it in it. I'm sure it's been years ago. Rhyming slang is cute. It's I don't know if this is true, of course, because it's an American book. Like apples and pears meant stairs. That's the only one I remember. And then it's I don't know if it's weird that Frank doesn't have the rest of the schedule up for the rest of ever, but there's just nothing up. He's got something up there for maybe the 6th, but nothing else for his Fridays off. But if he was keeping up with his every other Friday off schedule, then this week coming up would be a full week anyway, so no worries about that. And it would just be the following week where he might be taking a Friday off, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself there. And we're basically about a month away from the, quite frankly, Jamboree. So we'll see. I mean, I know I have to be there, but it's a lot to get me there. I don't know how exhausted I'm gonna get. I don't know if I would have to drive myself there, and there's just too many I don't know. I wish I had something. I wish I could tell you something solid for once, and I feel like I just have a bunch of I don't knows. So it's like here's all of the things that could happen, but you gotta take your pick. Just put your hand in to grab an option. Maybe that'll happen. Who knows? Oh, there we go. Patrick said, yeah, you're right, Nikki. Plates of meat equals feet. Oh, okay. What cannibal came up with that? Dragon Sage says, there once was a man from glass whose bollocks were made out of brass. When they jingled together, they played stormy weather, and lightning shot out of his. Oh, good one. John Rogers says I might not be here next Saturday. Yeah, understandable. Yeah, you'll be traveling. Just keep your eyes on the road. We'll hold it down for you. We'll be here. Understandable. If you don't ever think you have to be driving home and checking up with us in the chat room. It like I understand that there are, like, you say you're at a stoplight, you can stop and text and say something. I realize that there are safe times to be on your phone while you're driving, but like please don't think you have to be rushing home to watch the show, plus on your phone, like trying to say hi to people. Like don't worry about us when you're in the car. Just worry about getting home safely, and then worry about, saying hi to us, because we understand if you can't be at, quite frankly, right at 7 o'clock. Maybe you're just getting off of work at 7 o'clock, so you can't even show up until 7:30. That's fine. If you can't show up till 8:30, it sucks you only get a half an hour, but it is what it is. Nobody's going to think bad about you because you have to miss some shows for whatever reason. Like, you don't owe us an explanation. We know folks have lives. We know you want to be there. And we are thinking about you, but we are keeping your seat dry. So it's more important. I'd rather you show up a little bit later than you wanted safely than for you to have to be like hand on the steering wheel, hand on the phone, and trying to keep up with us. Cause like I've been in that situation where like I wanted to, and I just realized, just let me focus on the road because anything could pop up, and I'd rather just get myself home. As much as I want to talk, like safety first, please get yourself home first before you're picking up your phone and looking for tags and like saying hi to everybody and seeing who's there. I understand that feeling, but we'd rather you be late a few times rather than, one day Frank comes on the show, hey, I got an email, so and so was in a car accident and they're no longer with us. Like, we don't want that, so just please be safe. John Rogerson, be with his mom. Absolutely. Families, if you have families, spend as much time with them as you can because you never know the last time you're going to see anybody. John Rogers, we'll be driving on Wednesday and Thursday. More power to you. I miss being able to do all that driving. I mean, I like to drive. I can physically do it, like sit there, but it's just going to be too much on my eyes. John Rogers, Saturday after I will be late getting home around 7:30. Yeah, and then after you're driving that much, you just you don't want to have to focus your eyes on nothing. Like maybe something to eat, and that's it. So, and all that reading after all that, sometimes it's too much. So it's understandable. We all think about everybody and just want folks safe. One to go to said, some people with more time on their hands actually sat down and calculated that on a good day, a woodchuck could move around 700 pounds of wood. Damn, that's good. Wow, John Rogers, she'll be 88 in September. Whoa, yeah, more power to her. Yeah, she's a Virgo. I remember that. Patrick, I'm not a pheasant plucker, but a pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants until the pheasant plucker comes. Cute. I like that one. So yeah, smash that like button if you haven't already. That helps out the channel. And make sure you are subscribed. That helps out the channel as well. It's awesome. I mean, like, yeah, you can just view it as a vanity number. Like, don't tie your self-esteem up in your subscriber count, but it is awesome to know that many people are interested in the shows I put on. And like, I realized like the first 50 people that they just like what I do because I was on the chat room. So that's okay too. It's you can get subs that way as well. I'm honestly the best in the chat room. Yeah, language happens. Yeah, when I get closer to actually getting monetization, I'll really have to consider using more of the pseudo swearing because it's easier to do the pseudo swearing than to have to go back and edit out the swearing. But I'm not quite there yet. I do need to think about that though. I understand it's not always pleasant to hear like blue language. Dragon Sage, I'm not a fig plucker. Good. You're not a chicken lover, are you? No, no, nobody would do that. So yeah, don't forget your pants because you won't be back here for a week. Do check out some Dark Shadows, link in the description. It's okay if you just want to start with episode 210 and go on through, but I'll be reviewing it from, well, I've already done the first episode, so I just got to do the other 1244. So I'll be getting on with that soon. I'm glad I didn't have any technical difficulties. Thank you guys for being Franklies, for being fans of this show, for being based, and always remembering your pants. And we'll see if the power will stay on all week for me, so I can go to all of the shows next week. And we'll see if we'll get 5 full shows out of Frank. Let's see if he tries to, duck out early. Oh, I think I'm gonna end this one. It'll be like 7:15. It'll be like, oh, I think we're gonna only be on for an hour. It's like, act like you want to be there. Like you got another show. It's almost like he's doing another podcast on the side. And he doesn't want us to know. No, I'm kidding. It's alcohol. No, he's all right. He's just got a life. Yeah, Jen Ryder's. Yeah, good night, everyone. Get some good sleep. Get something to eat. Stay cool. Be a good neighbor. If you do take your pants off and you're not going to hang them up, don't just leave them on the ground, like kick them in the corner so nobody trips on them. Yeah, Leanne, have a great night, everyone. Thank you guys for all of your super chats and subscribes and likes. Want to go to? Thank you so much, Nikki. Fun bunch of Franklies following you here. Oh, thank you. Dragon Sage, if Frank's not got his head in the pail, yeah. Patrick, cheers, Nikki. Stay safe. Good night, chat. Great as usual. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Leanne. Yeah, just take it easy. Watch some good movies. Watch some Minecraft ARG Let's Plays. Honestly, if you just type in Minecraft ARG, you find people have already put up together playlists that are called Minecraft ARGs, only the good ones. So people are like picky about their scary content. I'm glad they are. Dragon Sage, a lovely time. Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, thank you guys. It was totally chill. Just a few things to mention. Just keep it loose. It's kind of nice to be different from everything else on YouTube and sort of not have the exact same structure as other shows. It's really more like if you were to talk to your friend for 2 hours and they never let you get another word in, it's kind of like that. But I'm not like that in real life. I don't like that kind of person. It's like, hey, shut up so somebody else can talk. And don't monopolize the conversation. And yeah, I will see you guys in a chat room. Oh, sometime soon. So I love seeing you guys. Thank you guys for giving me a platform where I can see you guys at least once a week. Even though it feels like longer time than that we've seen each other. It just based on the calendar it says once a week, so I'll take its word for it. So you guys make me want to continue with YouTube, and I hope you guys want to continue to see me grow this channel as much as I can with what I can do at the time. So I love you guys. And until next time.